My name is Barney Lowe, and I'm from the District 5, and I am here to talk tonight about to restrict applause. Tonight is about my freedom of speech, and I hope it's about yours as well. I read an article in the Daily Times section titled Your Voice on July the 14th of 2011. It was written by a lady by the name of Joan Worley of Maryville, talking and giving her views of the actions that are going on by our commission. She admits her comments really cover most of all of it. She is right on target saying there's always some foolishness going on with the Blount County Commission. She says that this morning, July the 11th, I was listening, it was county molds regulating applause. Last week it was the sheriff clearing the meeting room, and times before limiting the amount of time the citizens could speak to them. I won't respect the next response she wrote. I repeat the next response she wrote relating to the kind of commission we have. But I agree with her and with the next few comments. These are all citizens need to say, and I will start tonight myself. Her comment was, why don't they just have done with it and just say meetings are closed to the public and the press? Totalitarian government is much more efficient without all these people watching, or worse, wanting to say something before them and clapping. If the commission put forth the effort on our budget this year, as they did on trying to get us to not be able to speak or limit our speech and whatever, we wouldn't have the 11-cent tax increase that was passed a short time ago. We probably can add another right taken away after the vote tonight if things go the way they have it planned. If we lose our freedom of speech, which I value above all others, why don't they just all tell the men and women of our military, why waste your time and lives, GIs? You will be saying just that to them, as well as military veterans, all military veterans, just that tonight if you vote to restrict applause. If you consider yourselves Americans, you can only vote one way. Let the applause stand and leave our rights and freedoms alone. Thank you, Joan Worley, for your fine article. Thank you, Commissioners, for listening.
Ms. Miller. Ms. Miller.
I'm Karen Miller, and I live in District 4. And I'd like to say the First Amendment states to the United States Constitution, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievance. The Bill of Rights prohibits the making of any law impeding the free exercise of religion, abridging the freedom of speech, infringing of the freedom of the press, interfering with the right to peaceably assemble, or prohibiting the petition for a governmental redress of grievances. My question is, what has happened to these rights that this country was founded on? If you vote tonight to take our applause away, that is just stifling our freedom of speech and our freedom of expression. Tonight we have Mr. Swanson here, who's a survivor from Pearl Harbor. How dare you try to take freedom of speech away when this brave man is here getting honor that he so well deserves? I like to quote what a friend of mine is, a Christian and a Vietnam veteran. And he says, if you are not outlawing all applause at this commission meetings, you are only outlawing applause during the public input portion of the meeting. In my mind, that's worse than outlawing all applause. It truly does mean you just don't want to hear the opinions contrary to your own. You are censoring out the clapping, and you don't want, while retaining the ones you do want. Thank you, and I hope you'll vote the right way tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Ms. Ross.
I'm Carol Ross from District 6. I'm addressing item F5. And I want to begin by saying that some of you commissioners, your body language tells me exactly how you feel about what these people are saying and about this rule. According to J.P. Morgan, a man has two reasons for everything he does, a good one and a real one. The good reason, given for Rule 4G, is preservation of proper decorum. What is the real reason? If this was the real reason, applause would not be included. I say this because members of this commission have been quoted saying, "It's the hooting and hollering that bothers me." Apparently, hooting and hollering are the problems that need to be controlled, and applause is included. But why? Another reason given is that it delays the meeting. Ladies and gentlemen of the commission, the applause has been timed. The average length of applause time per speaker is 6 seconds. This means that if there were 10 speakers, the commission meeting would be delayed a total of 60 seconds or 1 minute. So although this sounds like a good reason, it is still just a cover for the real reason. What is the real reason behind banning applause? What are some members of this commission so bothered by the applause of the audience that there is an attempt to ban it? After thinking on this for a while, I had several reasons come to mind. I don't know why any of them would apply, but perhaps jealousy, speakers getting more recognition than members of the commission; embarrassment, speakers have uncovered facts overlooked by commission members; guilt, members know that speakers are correct but for some unstated reason cannot vote that way. The applause reminds them of this fact. Threatened, this is possible, but I don't know why. Some members of the bureaucracy, however, do seem to feel that we are a threat to the commission members. Intimidation. Applause says that it's not just one speaker who feels this way, but several. Can't let that fact be known. Desire for control. A desire to show those people who the real boss is. All of these could be the real reason for the proposed ban of applause. I surely hope that it is none of these. I would, however, hope that the real reason will be exposed tonight. None of the stated reasons in past meetings passed muster. Those stated reasons are nothing more than good reasons to cover the real reason. Then there is the subject of power. In the words of Henry Kissinger, power is the ultimate aphrodisiac. Is that the real reason? If it is, imagine these words on campaign literature. My opponent voted to ban applause. My opponent votes against free speech. Think, why is the proposal to ban applause included? If you can't identify the real reason that banning applause is being proposed, then you need to vote no on this rule. Thank you.
Morgan. Morgan.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Jack Morgan. I live in Louisville. No doubt some of you are as embarrassed as I am that we are taking up our valuable time, yours and ours, to discuss such a ludicrous restriction of the freedom of expression, which sometimes takes a few seconds at our meeting. And sometimes our freedom of expression is because you have passed something that we like, sometimes something that we don't. All of you heard, as I did, before this meeting started, when the call to meeting said, and I took particularly note when he said, hear ye, give attention, and ye shall be heard. Ye shall be heard. That means applause for or against some of this business. Surely we have more important things to discuss than restricting our expression of approval or disapproval. Takes only a few seconds. We've got more important things to discuss than this, don't we, gentlemen? If this passes, we'll be changing our call to order, which says, give attention and ye shall be heard. Will we change that to give attention and ye shall not be heard? Or will we just eliminate and ye shall be heard and we just say, give attention? I'd like to also make mention of the fact that we're fortunate enough to have, as a commissioner, what I would call a champion of freedom of expression. We have on our commission a past publisher of our local newspaper who has printed many public expressions over the years. And I would hope and expect that if a motion is made and there is a second and the chair asks for discussion, that this champion of freedom of expression, would take a few moments to urge you to not restrict our freedom of expression by a few hand claps for or against. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Grafton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm always humbled to hear the citizens of Blount County speak in these meetings, and I'm honored to be able to report on their comments on to the other members who are not here. And it's with sad heart, actually, that I come before you this evening, because I fear for your judgment by the individual who has given us the right to free speech. See, it's not how I feel about it, Chairman. It's not how these people are going to vote at the polls next time when these signs are circulated and people are brought attention to the fact that you're discriminating against the applause of people who want to support their commissioner when they're forced to applaud to recognize people who you want to give awards to, like we're some black slave in the last century. No, what I'm concerned about is when you stand before the person and the creator who gave you the ability to speak, because it's his right that you are infringing upon, Mr. Chairman, by entertaining this motion. And it is he who you will have to answer for. And I fear that an unrighteous man falling before and in the hands of a righteous creator will not find redemption if he does not repent for such actions before he makes that appearance. May we all have confidence and be in covenant with our Redeemer that we have repented and turned from our self-centered, prideful lifestyle in this fleshly vessel before we enter that eternal route in our soul and appear before our Creator and have him pronounce his judgment on our ability to call him Savior and admit that it is by his grace, for his glory, and to his honor that we have lived and served in whatever capacity he's given us. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. McClure.
I'm David McClure. So we're going to limit applause. Well, what next? Speech? Neighbor, thanks for your service for this country. Thanks, because if it wasn't for your service for this country, we wouldn't have the freedoms we've had today. I don't know, it seems like a lot of this is directed at a particular group, I guess. They're called troublemakers. But from what I know of these troublemakers, quote, they have not advocated that we throw dead cats in your mailboxes, nor roll your yards. These are good people, good God-fearing people that have tried to speak to this commission about their concerns in a civil and calm manner. And I think some people have taken it upon themselves to go to some of the good radio man's sponsors and threaten them, which is shameful. And fellas, when you ran for commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, forgive me, when you ran for commissioner, had it crossed your mind that some of the things you might be criticized for? Had it crossed your mind that some people might not agree with you? Thank you.